Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word. MCs
It ain't John. It ain't John. He's not my Captain America. It ain't John. It ain't John. Can you finish that?
I don't know if I want to. It ain't me. I ain't your
ain't
Captain
John.
America.
He's not Captain America.
Ah,
Ah.
God.
Welcome to the Nerkie.
That's how we're starting it.
So, if we sound a little weird too, Kyle and I both got new equipment, new mics, new, what do we call these thingamabobbers?
Got some mixers. We got some
Mixers.
mixers and some audio stuff that we kind of sort of know how to use and we kind of sort of don't. But I think it sounds a lot better.
I think it does too. You're probably gonna hear my fans. I don't know if there's any way around that because my computer's right next to here.
Only your fans.
It's not my ball fan.
It's just only your fans. Just a bunch of fans. Only fans.
Just it's 99 cents a month.
Buttholes.
Butthole. That's all it is. It's just, what's Chris's OnlyFans? It's just buttholes. It's not even his own.
No. It's not even
just,
like
he
the
typed in
physical ones.
buttholes
It's just,
on the internet.
just a bunch of pictures of jerks. I thought I was getting buttholes. I don't know. You know, if you got Captain Dick, you got John Walker.
It's mostly Captain or Director Dick.
Or Director Dick. Dang it, I screwed that up.
Captain
going
Dick
good.
is John.
Yeah, he's the captain now. Well, he was.
There's
Well,
a lot
he
of
is.
dicks. Dicks here. Dicks. Dicks.
You get a dick. You get a dick. Are we going to do another 10 minutes of dick jokes? Like
No, why not?
3
It seems
episodes
to
apart?
work. It cracked me up. Why not?
Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerdom. Every Man's Guide to Dicks.
Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we are two 30 to 40 something year olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle, and you guys might know us from the Twitches as Guyver. That's God, I do that every time. Chris over there, if you're watching on the YouTubes.
For me,
Well, I got a point like this, and then it's probably flip flopped on your screen. And I'm Casey.
It is.
On the Twitches, also we stream quite regularly on there. We're not doing this stuff or other things, and then we're doing that thing. So
Kasich just hit 100 subs last night.
that was pretty sweet. It's a good night. Thank you. Lots of support from
Congratulations.
the EGTN's community, and some good raids from some people. So it was nice. It was a good time.
Which yesterday it was, I don't know how he did it. He had like 27 people on at one point, and I asked the question, how? You're not even that good looking.
I know.
Props was cracking up, but I don't even know.
I ask myself that question every morning when I wake up.
It's because you're awesome. Good job, dude.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I am working to get up to 5 subs. So if you want to give me a sub,
Give me
or a
Madame,
follow,
whichever.
and give me the.
That's the other OnlyFans.
That's a different. That's my OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's a whole different podcast.
Hey, girl. So yeah, episode 5 entitled "Truth," not truth.
Truth.
Not our truth, but truth.
So, quick on the title. Was that the name of the run of comics? Hold on. That Isaiah was introduced in?
Truth Comics? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Truth, Red, White, and Black. Yep. That was the series.
From the 2000?
Yep. Like 2003.
Oh, see, I couldn't remember what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, dude.
I remembered reading that somewhere, not the actual comic, but the looks like it was only like it wasn't a very long run either.
No, it was a super short run. Like it was kind of like
7.
Was it even that long?
Show 7. Issue number 7. Yeah. It was just like a little miniseries thing.
So I'm glad you found that because I couldn't remember the name of it.
Truth,
Truth. So
which is
there's a
canon.
shit ton that happened in this episode.
Yeah.
We're coming up to our penultimate episode, next Friday.
No, the next Friday's the last one, the finale. This is the penultimate.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Where am I?
Yeah, we're not fully ultimate, but we're
getting there.
penultimate. Penultimate. It's a weird word.
This is a lot going on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And I got very, very excited on this episode. Well, I always get very excited, but even more so.
There was... I came out of this one conflicted. Not conflicted of whether I liked the episode or not. I really liked the episode. It's great. Like, it gets better and better. And we said the same thing with WandaVision. It's getting better and better and better. But this was getting better and better and better and deeper. And I just had some conflicted feelings about at least one of the characters at the end of this. We'll go into that a little bit more, like probably fairly early on into it.
I'll call it. I felt bad for John.
I did. And
I hate them for making me do that.
I hate you for making me feel bad. Well, here's the
I hate
thing.
you for making me feelings.
We said this, you said this going into it. The U.S. agent he was very much like, he's not a good guy, not a bad guy. He's just a dude.
Mm-hmm.
We're just some dudes. And that's how I felt about this. Like, he's not just this, over the top great superhero, and he's not this down
not at all.
and dirty in the evil underbelly villain either. He's just a guy that makes either really good or really bad decisions. He's just a dude.
He's just a dude. He really is.
He's kind of a douche, but he's a dude. He's relatable.
No, he's not kind of a douche. He's a complete and utter douche.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his
The full
costume
bag.
could be retooled as a summer's eve,
Mm-hmm.
and it would fit.
Captain Country Flower.
Oh, Captain, take me away.
Yeah, like, you just...
But I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for him, and I was mad at him, and I felt bad for him. Like, you're a liar. I can see why, and then, yeah. Like, and you see, like, we thought we knew how he operated in his head before all this, then you see, like, how he let's jump into what was going on here.
Yeah.
And we can probably better explain it. So, if you guys are new to these episodes, we break them down scene by scene, and we go through it, and we talk about it. And if you haven't watched the episode yet, then, like, stop now. I'm telling you, pull out, because there's spoilers. You should know that coming into this. Now, hey, they're going to talk about this episode. I haven't watched it. I probably shouldn't watch it, and I'm going to get mad if I get spoiled. It's your own damn fault. We're going to go into this, like, scene by scene, and pretty good detail. So buckle up, Buttercup, because it's going to be fun. Because this was a great episode.
Let's talk about that for a sec. So I was looking at the metrics.
Yeah.
We have 10 more listens of this last episode, Nerkie, that we did, episode 4, than we did from episode 3. How does that work?
I don't know. Well, it could be jumping between platforms, like between the YouTubes and the audios.
That's true too.
Could be.
But I don't know.
Could be anonymously listening. But yeah.
But that
welcome
could be
to
someone
people
who isn't actually watching the show, just listening to the Nerkies. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay, let's get into it. Opening scene, we see Captain Captain Dungarees, running down, and all I could think of is this part was, and then I kept running.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
That's all. I kept running, and then it's John, and he's flashing back to decapitating old boy. Not Steve Aoki, but the other guy.
Barry.
Barry.
That's what we called him.
Yeah. Oh, it was Barry, wasn't it? He decapitated Barry.
I think his name was Matthias.
No, it's Barry.
Barry.
And then he stops, and like I was kind of confused with it. He stops and he sees an open door. He's like, "Should I go in? Should I not? Should I go in? Should I not?"
Yeah, he's
He
very
went in.
very indecisive.
He went in, but according to Battlestar, he always made the right calls.
Mm-hmm. Did he this time? Did he the time before?
I don't think he did. And he's out of breath, which he must have run like 30 miles because he's a super soldier now. If he just ran next door, he's not out of breath.
Mm. He's mentally exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, he's been mentally exhausted since episode 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's sniffing, and you see the blood all over, like coming out from under his helmet, and he's got blood on the side.
Coming up from the front of his ear. He's starting to have his flashbacks of, things that Lamar has said to him.
And he's talking to himself.
He's talking to himself like he's losing it. He just lost his best friend. I mean, the dude that has been with him, not just his best friend, he lost his battle buddy. He lost his guy that has served with him.
His Bucky.
He lost his Bucky.
He lost his Bucky. Is what it was. Mm-hmm. He did, and
yeah.
And if you notice, like it's like those movies where the main character's starting to go nuts, and like the wavy and out of focus camera. That was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, he's losing. You can see just like anguish on his face, and I like how it cuts from like his face, the blood on the shield, to like him standing there. So there's some like really cool, he's pacing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really give you a good time frame of how long he was in there. I don't think before, because we see, after he drops to his knees and stuff. Well, we'll get to that. I don't think he was in the warehouse too long before he gets caught up to.
I think it's a couple minutes, maybe.
Yeah. And so you see him go through all these memories, and then there's like so many little quick scenes in here that could just be such iconic shots. Like I'm paused at the one that shows him itty bitty.
Yep.
Frame wise,
head down and
head down, shield right in front of him.
So that's actually a Cap comic cover.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's actually a comic cover. I don't remember the exact issue, but that's actually one of the covers.
And like he has that flashback of Battlestar, telling him, time to go to work. And then that's when he's down on his knees, the shield's in front of him, his head's down, and then he raises his head up and he does like a little neck crack, like gets a breath and time to go to work. It's just like he's putting himself back into battle mode.
Yeah.
He just has to keep pushing forward, As much of an ass as he is, like, he doesn't have quit in him.
No.
He has no quit in him.
He was trained to be, quote unquote, the perfect soldier.
Yeah.
So, and what Kyle didn't mention too, the reason he cracked his neck and said time to go to work is because Bucky and Sam came up and he heard them.
Yeah.
So it's not just he was just randomly getting to work.
Well, I mean, he heard like he had that little flashback to Lamar saying that.
Right. And then he starts walking.
Yep.
And they hear, Sam Walker. You guys, he tells them you guys should see a medic. And he's walking around. He's clearly agitated.
Mm-hmm. I want to say something about this run of the scene right here.
Yep.
This is where I saw a lot of his real life father in him, right?
Right.
This is when like you could when you really start paying attention in the tone of his voice and the way he talks and his mannerisms and his facial expressions that you can see when he has them, even when he has the mask on. You're like, you can tell that's Kurt Russell's son. He just exudes him in this run right here in this little scene.
He really does look like him.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yep.
So, okay, I'm adjusting my sound a little bit, trying to decrease my fans. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So, And then he's basically the kid who got caught red-handed doing something, justifying doing what he did. He said, "You saw what I had to do. I killed him because I had to." He killed Lamar. This is very. I could totally see Nick Cage this whole time doing this scene.
Ooh, man, if he
That's
wasn't
what I
so
was
old, he
seeing.
would be a great one.
Yeah, he was like, "I killed him because I had to. He killed Lamar."
I told him to put the bunny down.
Can you fly a plane? Nope. Swamp Thing comes in.
Mm.
And Bucky, ironically, it was one of the voices of reason. He said he didn't kill Lamar, John. And you hear Bucky go, "Don't go down that road. It does not end well."
Yeah.
And Bucky's he's just calm at this point.
But so is Walker. He's like that creepy calm.
It's the calm before the storm. You know what's going to happen. It's like in Oklahoma, just before a bad storm comes or it starts raining, then all of a sudden it gets real calm, and then all of a sudden the sky goes yellow.
And then everybody's on their front porch holding a beer.
Then everyone's on their front porch with a beer, watching what's happening.
Yee.
But you tell your family to go hide in the laundry room.
Yeah, go in the basement. I got to make sure that's okay out here because I'll be able to, yeah.
ATM.
Mm-hmm. Y'all don't worry about
Don't worry about Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know why that's funny, ask us sometime.
Yeah, in the Discord. Join it. Links in the bio.
Join it. Sam basically just says, we don't want anyone else to get hurt. And then it does like kind of a close up of the shield with the dried blood on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just kind of a really cool scene, like just to show.
Yep. There's been a lot of action and like just the whole buddy cop dynamic again, like through this whole series, but like this episode has some really good artistic shots, I guess you could say. Like the stuff with this shield, there's a lot of stuff later on that just really set this episode apart from the others. This is the one. And went back and rewatched the music. Like there was so much good stuff about this. There's a few things that kind of felt a little shoehorned here and there. A little cheesy here and there, but for the most part, like this was the deeper of the episodes.
I agree. And you were talking about the action. We're about to get probably one of the coolest fight scenes we've had the entire show. To me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sam, tells him.
Go ahead.
I was to say, Sam's just. You can tell Sam was that grief counselor because it's still coming out. He's still trying to help John, but at the same time, he's done.
Yeah.
And, Sam's looking at him and says, "You got to give me the shield, man." What were you going to say?
Oh, that was it. The same thing. Sam was, we see why it was brought back up earlier in the season here, a few episodes back, about his, what he did before he became an Avenger with his grief counseling and all that, because it's come into play. This is the second time or third time. This is the second time that I can remember for sure. There's another time coming up later, but I like that they're, we said that before, we like that they're bringing that part of him back, Sam, and, we see some more of it this go round. And, just like before, Walker was kind of buying into it. Just how Carly was buying into it last episode. And then he gets the bomb dropped and like, "Hey, give us a shield." He's like, "Oh, that's what this is all about." And what does he say?
He says...
Walker says, "You don't want to do this." And Bucky's like, "Yeah, we do."
I love that part right there.
And then fisticuffs.
And then fisticuffs. Like the best part, like would have done it for me, like I would have stopped watching the episode because I would have been good, is if Walker would have looked up and he'd go, "Oh, is this what that is?" And then he goes, Suck my balls, Mr. Garrison. If he would have said that, I would have been done.
He's, I'll be your Huckleberry. Oh, it was the wrong Tombstone
Sorry.
one. His dad was what? Never mind. Val Kilmer shows up.
Oh,
Everybody's just confused, like Huckleberry.
a
What?
Huckleberry. Tombstone. Tombstone, everyone.
Showdown at the Latvia Corral.
And then Val Kilmer shows up as Mad Mortigan.
Everybody's
"No,
confused at that
Val,
point.
Wrong movie.
Kurt shows up, but he's Ego again, but he's Ego as Wyatt Earp.
And then he shows up as the guy from the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. Disney movie. I would tell you to listen to our Disney episode, but that one's in the bank.
Not going to make a joke.
I set you up for
I
a
know.
joke.
I'm trying to have a little
do
restraint. Well, I can't
Do it.
now. The moment's passed.
Oh, shit.
The moment's gone, just like your mustache.
Oh, okay. We're going to discuss this real quick because if you're watching the YouTubes, like I texted Kyle a picture the day it happened. I got done riding the bike in the morning, got done working out. I was still I was still tired, still half asleep. Allergies suck right now. We've heard me snorting and sniffing and coughing. I bought a beard trimmer for the first time, and I was getting hair in my mouth because it was getting so long on the sides because I was trying to Fu Manchu it. And then wearing the mask, it was going in my nose. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll clip it. Well, I didn't know that these trimmers, the built-in guard is adjustable. So I just had it down there. And I I'm in the shower and I start hitting it right under my nose and I sneeze. Really big one. And it goes all the way down. So like I've got more than stubble. It's a little longer than stubble, but I gave myself a reverse Hitler and it was wide.
The old reverse wide Hitler.
A reverse wide Hitler. So I had to shave, like cut the rest at the same length so it didn't look odd. Now I just look super Amish.
Mm-hmm.
I will churn thy butter.
You will. And to churn that butter.
That's my Amish dating app.
For all our Amish people that don't listen to this, we apologize.
Or do we?
Do we?
Make no apologies. Okay. Like my mustache. Good. You got it. I explained it, why it's funny.
I got that in earlier and I thought I would tonight.
Yes, you were saving that.
I was. I thought this was going to be like a mid-episode joke, but no. We're not even to the title card yet of the actual show itself. And I got to sneak it in there.
Yeah, you did. The Waikiki, sneaky, and the cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Captain Dick. Yeah.
So ass
You don't wanna do
kickings commence. Oh, yeah. And then
So-
they go at it. And I think Walker was holding back some at points through the fight. There's sometimes he loses it.
I think he was at the beginning.
Yeah.
But once he saw that he was losing, he went all out.
Yep. He takes the mask off at one point.
Yep.
I got a little far ahead here, but
Well,
yeah, because as hard as he can hit now, because he's got, you saw what happened to Lamar when a super soldier,
it's a normie.
It's a normie, and Sam's a normie. So one good whack from old Captain Dick there, and he's in the dirt.
He got dick slapped
right in the face,
right between the eyes.
But there was some good coordinated. This is really, really well coordinated fight scene.
Extremely.
And they just they let it all out.
So when they started this is what this reminded me of. This reminded me of Civil War, where Bucky and Cap were going up against Tony. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Except Sam's a lot more acrobatic than any of them.
Sam is very acrobatic.
Sam's amazing.
There was a lot of use of the shield, and the wings.
Okay, who had the gun? Was it Bucky? When he
Bucky
hit,
took the
Bucky's
gun
trying
away
to get it.
from. He took the gun away from Walker.
Oh yeah, he did. He reached into his holster, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then Sam does a Chinese circus kick.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. It's like the break into electric boogaloo dance kick. I mean, he's taking on Bucky one-on-one. He's about to hit him with the shield. And then all of a sudden, Sam's wings come out.
Yeah.
And Sam is so well-versed in fighting with these wings at this point. Because, I mean, they just pop in and out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Just the whole scene just literally gave me goosebumps just watching it.
You see, Bucky gets right in his face, and you see the shield change hands a few times through this whole thing, and you see that a lot through this episode. The shield changing hands because it's, there's still that question like, who's going to get the shield? Who's going to get the shield? And so even during this fight, you see, Bucky with it a couple times. I think you see Sam with it once, and then back and forth to Walker.
Yep.
And Bucky gets slammed against a post. His Robo arm gets busted up. He's like out cold for a little bit. And then Walker finally gets the one up on Sam and has him, he pins him. And you see Walker, this is what's weird. So Walker takes his mask off, takes the Captain America mask off to tell Sam that he is Captain America, that Walker, says, I am Captain America. Which is weird to me.
So I think it makes sense. Let's back up just a little bit here.
Okay.
After Bucky goes down and Sam comes in for the save. So Bucky was going all out.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost got the shield from Walker. I think this part's super important. Sam comes in for the save with the wings out, right? Walker slams him on the ground, looks at him, and then it's very, very, very reminiscent of last episode when he decapitated the other guy almost.
Yeah.
He went in for Sam's neck shield first.
Oh, and he did say something. I think we forgot that Walker said, why are you making me
do this? Why are you making me do this?
Yeah. And that's where I kind of felt a little bit like his years of training and is just kicking in, and this is all he knows to do is self-preservation. Is these guys are now his enemy.
Anything to get the job done.
He's got to get the job done. Why are you making me do this?
So when what part was this? Yeah, he told him we could have been a team, and Sam gets him with the grappling hook wire. And Walker stops him with 1 foot pretty much, is pulling it. He super soldiers it. The shield's down. Sam sees it. They both make a run for it. He tackles him. And then Sam's, again, trying to get away with the wings. And Walker used basically jujitsu on him, used his own momentum against him, slammed him back down.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the part you were talking about. He throws off his mask and he's grunting and he goes, I am Captain America. This is the part you were talking about. I think the reason he pulls the mask off is to show that it's not the mask that makes him Captain America. It's the man, because that's what Bucky and Sam told him from the get-go.
Okay.
That's what I think it means.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Either that or he was lustfully looking in Sam's eyes, because Sam is dreamy.
Captain America.
I'm Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
He's on top of him, and then he's grunting, and then he rips the wings off of Sam. And then I know I said the last one was reminiscent of last episode. This one is completely reminiscent.
Yeah.
Just the pure look of anger in his face going down. He's going to decapitate Sam is what he's going to do.
Mhm.
I'm getting a picture of this. This might make a good cover.
Go with that.
Okay, go on.
So I'm a little further ahead now because I got caught up watching it as it happened. But he's leaning over Sam with the shield. You know, like Chris said, he's going for the decapitation, like the exact same thing as last episode. And
Taking
right
it too far
before
now.
Bucky, tackles him. So now it's Bucky and Walker tangling again. And they're just trading blows back and forth, just punch, punch, punch. One hits one hits the other. They kick, they punch, and he finally gets him pinned. And so Bucky's holding him against this concrete pylon thing, and he's got his arm that has the shield strapped to it up against the corner of it. Sam comes to, and he gets a hold of where the shield is, and
awesome.
his thrusters engaged. I didn't catch this is exactly what happened until the second time I watched it.
I got it the first.
Because it happened really fast.
Yep.
You see he's struggling, and then finally you just hear the crack, and you see
They break his arm.
His arm just flop over. The shield comes off, and I didn't catch that they broke his arm the first time.
Right.
I just like, why
Why'd he give up? So if you think about it, he used one arm. It's that rage plus the super soldier serum. They said, it makes you more of who you are.
Yeah.
And Walker wanted to be strong. So it took one of the original super soldiers, Bucky, plus Sam with the thruster to get the shield from him.
Yeah. He's got some oomph. Got a little lead in his britches.
He got a little something.
Got a little something going on. And so I like this. So they kind of, he pulls away, Sam gets the shield, and then him and Bucky tangle again. Mm-hmm. And Bucky goes to like tackle him, like football form tackle, and lifts him up and then has a hold of his legs. And you see Bucky like running with the shield and thrusters kick in. And then see Sam running with the shield and thrusters kick in. And you see Bucky swing him like a bat.
Yeah, it did.
And here comes Sam with the shield behind him, like donk, right in the back of the head.
All three are on the ground.
Yeah. But it was just like this over the top WWE move, like, with the shield.
RKO.
Good God Almighty.
It's a slobber knocker.
And they finally KO him. He's
down.
He's loopy.
He down.
Bucky, picks up the shield, walks it over. Sam's still on the ground. Drops the shield to Sam, looks at him, and then just walks away.
So I think this was Bucky's way of telling Sam, shield's yours.
Yeah. For the love of God, take the shield.
Don't let it go this time.
Yep. It didn't work.
Oh.
So then we get the
but he
title
ran
card.
off.
So that was the first 9 minutes of the episode that we just covered. Great fight scene. A lot that happened there that really sets up the rest of this episode.
Sets the tone, and there's our title screen.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we're back at that sanctuary for all the refugees.
Yep.
And it's the police. What is it? The GRC?
GRC.
They're arresting everyone that's there for housing an international terrorist. Aiding and abetting.
I'm not liking these GRC people.
I don't think anyone does at this point.
No, but they're out to make an example right now.
Sam goes, just like the last camp, nothing. She's gone. We're never going to find her. And you can just see the torment on his face. And of course, Bucky's just sitting back, just staring. Like Bucky does. And then you hear Torres say to Bucky, "Hey, you got your sleeve back."
Yeah. Oh, there's Torres.
I love Torres.
Where's he been for the last couple episodes doing doing his thing.
I don't know.
I wanted to see more of him. I thought he was going to be. And he still may be. We got an episode left. There's a lot of things that could happen.
So once we get done with this scene, I will give you my prediction. I have a feeling we're about to see a lot more of Taurus.
He's going to be Mephisto.
I think he's going to be Mephisto.
I hope he's Mephisto.
Or the new Wanda. So basically, Taurus is asking him, what's going on? And Sam's like, basically the higher ups benched us.
Yep.
So, it's bad because Sam and Bucky aren't on the government payroll.
Right. Like they said, I think they used the term free agents earlier. Like they can operate outside of chains of command and orders and things.
So next thing we know, Taurus looking at the bag goes, "Hey, what's that?" He's looking. What happened to these? And he picks it up. He's like, "So is there anything we can do?" He's like, "Not really."
His little wing sack there.
His
That's the one that got you? Like
Yes.
all the other ones, wing sack's the one that gets you.
well, the others got me. Just that one got me really good.
Ah,
Him and his little wing sack.
his little wing sack. All folded up there. His little wing sack of shame.
Sam Wilson, he'll give you wings.
Mm-hmm. Because they're not on him anymore. He's got to give him somebody.
They said the longer we let her
Oh.
regroup, wait.
I'm jumping ahead of you now. Did I just leapfrog? Okay, all right, go ahead so we can get to your point because I know where you're going now.
I don't know where I was going now.
No, okay. So, we'll get to that. Like Sam says, like we need to do something. The longer we wait, the more she's going to regroup. Torres, she's got connections everywhere, all different platforms. Her influence is bigger than we realize, basically. He says she's really good at what she's doing. And then Torres tells him, or he asks him, how did they break? Run his hand over the wings. But then Torres says, all we can do is sit tight and chill. Sometimes there's nothing to do until there's something to do. And Sam says, bizarrely wise. But, he tells him to, I think I knew what you were kind of alluding to, like we're going to see more of Torres.
Mhm.
I think that's this scene right here.
I think this is him handing the because he leaves the wings with Torres.
Yeah.
And their dynamic is already there.
Yeah.
Because it's, Captain America and the Falcon. That's a long running team. I think this is Sam's way of handing off the torch. So, but in the comic, if you remember what I said from, was it 1 or 2 episodes ago? Taurus was a biomutant, basically.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how they're going to take it because they're all really happy with the actor. They said he's a great guy. Even if he doesn't continue here with the MCU, he's got a big career ahead of him because I guess he's just super nice.
Yeah.
Nails all the lines and stuff.
Good actor.
Just good actor. So he's really well liked in the MCU. So I have a feeling they're going to do something with him.
Well, this is the continuation of the passing of the torch that we've seen in this episode or this series and some WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot of that in the next several series, movies, but the series. I think that's what all these are going to be. Are setting up for all the passing of the torches, all the torches to be passed.
Loki's the next one, and that deals with time and space, I believe. So I'm interested to see how they're going to continue on, work that in with this, what's going on.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you see all these reporters around, and then you see Walker rolling down the window with his little raspberry beret. He's coming out, and they're like, "John Walker, you're no longer to act in any capacity as a representative of the United States government or its military. They're stripping him.
Yep.
Not physically, but physically they are. They said effective immediately. What? Merging action. And then Walker's just trying to save the title at any cost, you can tell. He's like, Senator, permission to present to the council testimony. And he's not even looking at the council. He's kind of looking down as the circumstances of the incident. And the senator is just like, no, we're good.
Yeah. Already considered it, John.
Dick. They said because of your past accomplishments, that's why we're not going to give you a court martial. And he's like, with all due respect, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation fully. Thereby, I've misunderstood the circumstances. He's like, this is not a negotiation. I understand that. Before, he was kind of meek about it, trying to say, hey, would you please, sir, listen to my side of the story? Mm-hmm. And now he's getting aggravated.
It's when we finally see him. We see him snap like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Happens a lot. There's an ongoing thing here with him and snapping.
Him and Thanos.
But
he said, I'm just asking to be heard.
Yeah.
And his wife's there again.
And this makes you feel for him. That's what we talked about. Like, we feel bad for him. Damn you, Marvel, for making us feel bad for him, because this speech that he gives right here.
Yeah,
makes
it. You can't handle the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You can't handle the shield.
Mandates. And he's like, I've lived by your like everything that I am right now is because of what you did to me. You trained me to be this way. And now I'm being punished for being the way that you trained me.
He's angry. And yeah, I think anyone would have been at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I only did what you asked me, Dad.
Yeah. It's like, when you get in trouble for work for pissing off a customer because you did something, that's in the handbook to do. Like, that's how you're supposed to handle it. Like, well, you shouldn't have handled it that way. Well, I did what was in the book, except he killed people. So there's a little difference there, but
in the costume as the representative of the U.S., which
a little different.
I mean, Cap killed Nazis.
He did.
Cap killed aliens.
He did. Cap didn't publicly decapitate someone that was basically able to be captured.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that guy was done. He wasn't going to fight back.
No.
He executed him. A difference.
Executive execution.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
I mean, dead's dead, but he publicly executed that guy.
Yeah, Smokey, you got knocked the fuck out.
And this was one of the guys that I think one of our listeners, Alex, pointed this out, like that, or maybe you did. Somebody pointed it out. That's the guy that looked up, that like said he looked up to Captain America, right? Is that the same guy from last episode?
Yeah, it was Barry.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, when I was young, I used to look up to Captain America.
Yep. And then he did look up to Captain America again as the shield came down on his face. So.
Boom, right in the kisser.
Boom, shakalaka.
Boom, shakalaka. Here's the part that really got me. Like, I felt so bad for John at this point. You will be given an other than honorable discharge retroactive to the beginning of the month. So, it could be like the 25th, and John's like, all right, I get paid on the 26th. I'm going to buy like some groceries and pay off my mortgage. No, they just took it a while. You will hold no rank in retirement and receive no benefits. And he did that little neck thing. Yep. Where he goes back and forth, just like he's clearing his head.
Mm-hmm.
That is dick.
And I wonder when the timing of this was. So they said retroactive to the beginning of the month. So I wonder if how that applies to, we don't really know, like if this is the middle of the month, the end of the month, if they're going retroactive to before the incident.
Is the
I don't think
first
that's how
of
that
the
works, though.
month.
But yeah, he just got erased.
They're Isaiah Bradling him.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Not quite as bad though.
Not quite
as
as
what
bad.
They did to Isaiah. Like no, okay,
Not-
nowhere
not-
near as bad.
No,
what
yeah,
they
so
did to
nowhere
Isaiah.
near as bad as Isaiah got it. Not even
And
close.
How do we know this, Kyle?
I don't know, because we watched the episode. You guys know what happened.
He says, Senator, I am Captain America. He's like, not anymore. John's defiant to the end.
Yeah.
If you continue to demean and degrade the priorities and dignities of this council, John just walks off. They threaten to send him into the barracks and return the shield to us with expedients. We
Joke's
all
on
know
them.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he's sitting out in the little foyer looking at his medals and, in his self-pity and, well, they don't know what it's like to have to do the job. They know. He didn't really. I guess he did the job, but he did
the job.
how he thought it should be done, and not really how a Captain America should be doing, which is the whole point of this.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the sight of how it should have been done.
He doesn't have sight beyond sight.
Mm.
He doesn't have a sword or omens.
I'm just gonna.
He doesn't have a jaga.
Oh, we do confirm here that's his wife, for sure.
Yep.
We were
that's
learning
his
that
wife.
early. We were pretty sure it was.
But this is a full confirmation.
chick in a locker room. But
Then all of a sudden we see some feet walking and these high heel boots.
takes a little misstep. Did you catch a little misstep?
Yep.
Like, okay.
But then it's there, and then they pull it up, and it's Elaine.
Well, she would have
Julia
danced all the way
Louise
up.
Dreyfus. Yeah, I was waiting for the Elaine dance.
Mhm.
So Veep Elaine is officially in the MCU, which is awesome because she's amazing. And she said, well, these boots are not made for walking, which is a play on his name.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
And she goes, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. I lost my shit at this point.
So explain why to those of us like me who had to look it up after the episode. What is the importance of that name and what role does she play in
She is
the grander
Madame
Marvel
Hydra.
universe?
Madame Hydra. Madame Hydra.
Mhm.
She was a super spy. She was a Russian plant put in to infiltrate SHIELD, which shows that Hydra has had control of SHIELD always.
Mhm.
Well, during her lifetime.
In the comic, right? That's what
In
we're
the
going.
comic.
We don't know what
She
she's
was-
doing yet here.
Right. She was Nick Fury's lover in the comic. She was I want to say she was a triple agent. And she was the head. So Madame Hydra is just the title given to the highest. Is it female ranking? I can't remember, but that's one of the top Hydra agents. She ran Leviathan. Fury's whole purpose was to take down Hydra and Leviathan.
Mhm.
Was Leviathan the think tank? I can't remember. But she also ran the Thunderbolts at 1.2, I believe.
Okay, so we talked about that a little pre-show. That was something that you were Well, let's get through this little scene here,
Okay.
and
Then
then
we'll go
we'll dive back into
So
dive back
basically,
into her.
she's not a huge character, but she is a huge character in the Captain America mythos.
Okay.
So, like I said, I lost my shit on this.
She just goes up. She like wiggles in between him and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which-
she just starts telling him all these things that nobody should know.
Mm-hmm.
I know you took the serum. It's made you valuable to certain. You know, she introduces herself. And she's, you know, I know you took the serum.
I don't
Thank
know
us
if you
the-
noticed this when she's talking to him. Do you see the purple streak in her hair?
Yeah.
That's important to note.
Okay. Let's see. When my daughter saw this, she's like, "She's a witch." Like, no, I don't think she's a witch.
Nope.
And but yeah, she you know, she commends him on taking the serum. She said, "I would have killed the bastard too." Nobody in there is mad about, you know, in there is mad at you about that, but taking out everybody. But she's basically saying, kind of like what we were talking about, like there's an image to protect with Captain America, and decapitating a dude in front of on the global stage is not the way to do it. And everybody filming it. And
She tells it's made him very, very, very valuable
to the
certain
right,
people.
yeah, to the right or to certain people. Get ahead there a little bit. So she knows all about him taking the serum somehow. Said thinks it's the second best choice you ever made in your life, and then she kind of, you know what the first best choice is, and then she's like, oh, aside from, you know, marrying this, what she called her, firecracker.
Fabulous firecracker next to me. And she goes, "How's it going?"
Yeah. It just plays it so good.
Elaine.
And she said the next is picking up the phone when I call you, and then just, you know, don't worry about the shield. Tells him the shield's kind of a gray area. The government doesn't really own it. It's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or says it's a dirty little state secret. The government doesn't own the shield. It's kind of a legal gray area. And he's just Walker's just like dumbfounded through this. Like he doesn't even know what to say. He's just standing there with his jaw down. And then she
Like
leaves.
normal.
Yeah. And he looks
She gives him her card.
Yeah.
Why is this important? Because when he looks at the card, he turns it over. One side's black, one side's white. And he said, "There's nothing on it."
Hmm.
She's like, "Call me."
No, she said she'd call him, and he better answer.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Which would explain why she didn't do that.
So purple. So there's something very important about the purple streak in the hair.
Is there?
Well, is there? You're the one that said it.
Well, I'm just saying there's a purple streak in her hair.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
it's like
there
in
was
the
something-
comic. No.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it was something of note, like she had gone through some weird experiment in the comics and gave her a purple streak, and like Mephisto's her hairstylist or something.
Mephisto's her hair. So, okay. I think this sets it up. We could have a Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, DC Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Except usually the Thunderbolts is made up of the worst of the worst. And what leads me to believe, I'm calling this, why I think it might be Thunderbolts. Helmut Zemo led the Thunderbolts for a while.
But he hates super soldiers.
He does. But the Thunderbolts aren't made up of super soldiers. They're made up of villains.
But if Walker
Venom
gets
was on there for a while.
yeah, if Walker gets recruited, it's a super soldier on the squad.
It is. If Walker, but like Rhino was on the one of the incarnations. Electro. No, was it Shocker? I can't remember. There's been a lot of incarnations, but that's why I kind of think that they might have alluded to the Thunderbolts. And then you said
I had read something about the Dark Avengers, which I know nothing about.
Dark
but
Avengers. Oh, go ahead.
She also had ties to the Dark Avengers at some run through there.
So Dark Avengers was when Norman Osborn was he president? He was really high up. I think he was president. That's when he got Iron Man's armor and made it into the Iron Patriot. He wore the Iron Patriot armor.
Okay.
Dark Avengers was a dark version of the Avengers. Like there was a Wolverine, and it was Daken, Wolverine's son. They did things that normal Avengers really wouldn't have done. It was from Fear itself, I want to say. Can't remember the run. It was like 2014, something like that.
But still similar in like the way Suicide Squad was like, okay, we got
Right.
some things that need to be done that people with really good morals probably won't do, but things that need to be done anyway.
He changed it to from Shield to Hammer.
Ah.
He was something high up. Maybe not president, I can't remember, but the Sentry was in it, Ares, Novar, which was Captain Marvel. Now Captain Marvel. This guy's supervillain Moonstone, Venom. This is the Matt Gargan. Matt Gargan was the Scorpion in Spider-Man. He was a very, very interesting Venom. Bullseye and Daken. So it was a cool storyline. So if you're right, I think it'll be really interesting because then, phase 1 we had Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 4 we could have like Dark Avengers.
I'm not saying I'm right. Just some stuff I came across that she had ties. Those were the two.
You could be right.
Organizations that she had ties to that made the most sense for things going forward were either Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers.
Right. Well, and Osborn in the comics declared war on Asgard too.
Is that the run that moved Asgard to Oklahoma?
Yep.
I hope that's what happens.
They did a siege on Asgard.
Lay siege to that Asgard.
They siege all over that ass. But if you guard that ass,
guard that ass.
No one's getting in.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Except maybe
not even
like
through Loki's secret hole.
He always finds a way in.
Yeah. Oh, so she's gone.
We're gonna work on. Yep, she's gone.
Get off on a thing again. So we're back in Latvia, and we see Carly and what's left of her super soldier squad. Back at the, I don't want to call it a refugee camp because he said they weren't refugees, but the camp, and they see just
they were the Fugees.
The Fugees.
Did that bore you, sir?
No. I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
I'm tired. I tried to catch up on sleep this weekend and it made me tireder. No.
This weather's making me tired. Because it's supposed to snow.
It's not
it was like 80 last week.
We're fine. We're fine. It changed today.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to look at it.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so they're at the camp and they're seeing the signs and they're seeing just like what we talked about earlier, that all these people were either arrested or let off or whatever for aiding and abetting a criminal organization, terrorists. And Carly's just lit.
Mm-hmm.
She is lit. And so she goes into one of her, Carly speeches again that, Matthias, Mama Danya, Nico's who we saw die in the first episode, I think. The guy that pushed over the telephone pole or the electric pole or whatever. And,
that was him. Okay.
Yeah, the guy that was, that kind of overdid it.
She forgot about Barry.
I think, oh, yeah. Matthias and Barry. Poor Barry. Then she's like, how many, and she's all these others that's just too many to count. It's like, how many times do we have to pay with our lives just to be citizens of this planet? And everybody just like her group, they all stop and they look at her, and you can see in her face she's emotional. Her eyes are puffy and red, and she's pissed, and she just says the movement's ready. They're not going to stop unless we make them. And so something big's happening because she said it's time. And this is usually when you would expect, especially if they have a group of any size, like they have 5, 6, 7 or whatever. That usually in any movie where there's always like one person steps like, well, maybe we shouldn't, like tries to be the voice of reason. None. They're like, yep, we're going. We're going to war.
It's like back
war
in college
declared
when we were all, sitting around drinking, and then we decided we need more beer, but everyone's really drunk. Yeah, we need more beer. It was just that frenzy.
Yeah, but who's going to go?
I don't know, but we're going. Beer.
And you got 12 drunk dudes walking down the road trying to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. We're on a collision course.
No potential voices of reason from her group. They're all just like, yep. Just like what Zemo said. They're going to follow her to
the end.
To the end. And they leave. There's a little bunny on the ground, and so now we're at the. We cut to the monument to Sokovia. Or we're in Sokovia now, and
which we knew this would come.
Yeah,
especially when Zemo asked Bucky and Sam, "Have you ever been?
Have you ever visited the monument?"
And we knew that this would come one way or another.
Heavy breathing Zemo.
Daniel Brühl.
And so Bucky shows up. Zemo says, "I've decided not to kill you," when Bucky has the gun. He's showing him, he's like, "Oh, imagine my relief," or however, he said it. But
I thought you'd be here sooner.
Yeah, thought you'd be here sooner. And he says the girl's been radicalized beyond salvation. So this is exactly what he told them was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There was, once she got a little taste of the glory, she wasn't going to be able to go back. They had a chance. Captain Dick screwed that up.
Captain Dick did screw it up.
Mm-hmm. But if he wouldn't have, we probably wouldn't have 2 more episodes. It'd been like, okay, show's over.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yakko Warner. Good night, everyone.
Mm-hmm. But he's like, they say he tried to warn Sam, but he's stubborn. He's got a lot of Stevie in him. He's like, he's looking at Bucky. He's like, but you still have the Winter Soldier in you. You know what needs to be done. You can do what needs to be done. It's like she's got people anywhere. She cannot continue her mission. She's still trying to, reason with Bucky here, but like, thanks, but we're gonna do it our way. And Zemo says, I was afraid you'd say that. And you see Bucky clicks the gun, like he's already like taking it off the safety or on. So you heard it click once and you heard it click again. And he just does the Bucky stare at Zemo, raises the pistol to his face.
Zemo knows what's coming.
Yep. Cocks the hammer. Zemo, and this is what's great. He doesn't blink.
Nope.
Nothing. He just looks at him. He's like, "Yep. All right.
I know what's coming.
It's time for Zemo to go
dance.
Dance, Zemo. This is the time in Sprache when we dance."
That would have made the scene complete. Zemo went out just dancing.
He just puts the gun to his head, and Zemo just. Winter Soldier, I have one last request. if you
Can
may,
you give me Fat Beat?
if you will entertain this one last request, it's in your book. Look, I wrote it in there for you when you were not looking.
It's called the Zemo Tweak.
I just want one last time to dance. Bucky,
I already know my future. Oh, that's what it. If he ripped off his pants like Party Boy from Jackass, and he goes, "I already know my future. I just want to party."
Oh my God, way throwback.
Oh, but that would have been great.
Hmm.
Okay, Zemo accepts it. Bucky pulls the trigger and it goes click.
Eek. Gun wasn't loaded. Did he even blink when it clicked?
Yeah, he did. Who, Zemo or Bucky?
Zemo. I want to see if he. No, he
No,
didn't even
he
blink.
didn't.
He was like, oh.
And Bucky
Zemo?
gives him a shit-eating grin.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, haha, I got you. Then you see
I
Zemo's
just
relief.
Zemoed my pants. Thank you, James.
Well, then, thank you, James. And then he drops all those bullets.
Mhm.
And then here comes Ao,
Heyo.
with the Dora. And
I like how my phone's gonna keep buzzing for some reason. Like, no, he's not mad at him for doing what he thought. For him handling things the way he thought they needed to be handled. And I believe Zemo. Like, you're gonna. I'm not gonna be mad at you for doing what you thought was right. Zemo's just more and more admirable as this goes on. I don't think this is the last of Zemo.
No. He's kind of a fan favorite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When then Io tells Bucky, we're going to take him to the raft. The raft, if you remember, is the supervillain prison.
Mm-hmm.
Where they had Sam. Was it Sam? No, it was Clint and Ant-Man. They were locked up there. I think Wanda was locked up too, wasn't she?
Might have been.
I think she was. But the raft is the supervillain complex in the middle of the ocean that you cannot escape. Technically, the raft in the comics is in another dimension. Created by Reed Richards.
But still could happen. So maybe Zemo's going to escape. They're like, this raft isn't good enough. If only we had another dimension to stick it in. And he's like, hey.
Stick it
I know
in
a
my
guy.
Zemo.
Yeah. Someone
So-
like Reed would be like, hey,
Everyone, I've got something.
I got a thing over here. You guys haven't seen it yet. Well, you've seen it twice, but this is a new version of the thing. Don't worry about those other two. Those other two versions, those weren't that fantastic. This one's going to be really fantastic. It'd be a lot funnier if it was like not the third time they've tried to do it. If it was
I
like
know.
actually the fourth.
But it's still good.
Fourth time's the charm. And fantastic.
So Io tells Bucky, a word of advice, I would make yourself scarce in Wakanda for the time being, White Wolf. Basically saying, yeah, we all know you released Zemo. He killed the former king. We're not forgetting this anytime soon. Don't come back.
Okay. That got me a little bit because, like, I understand, like, yeah, basically don't step foot in Wakanda. How often was he going back to Wakanda where that would become an issue?
Apparently enough where she said, don't come back for a little bit. You need to let things blow over.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
Good enough for me.
Or she's just warning him.
I think she's
Yeah,
just
just
warning
don't
him. But
come
the
in
way
for a while.
Yeah, but the way she said is like, I don't think, is it an issue? Like, is he just
Maybe.
like going there on the weekends? Does he have like a little cottage?
Maybe he was getting some
A little
Dora
Wakanda?
booty
Maybe,
on the
man.
side.
Maybe a little Wakandan timeshare? He just goes back. He's got to use
He doesn't
it.
want anyone to see, so
Yeah,
he
use it or
uses
lose it.
those what were they? The blankets, the ones that you couldn't see when they held him over in Black Panther, the transparent ones.
Man.
Bucky's sneaking out of people's windows. It's like his invisibility cloak.
Of course, he's going to pick a assassin archer, sneak around because everybody.
I'm just seeing Bucky just sneaking around with this little blanket over his head, except he forgets to cover his face.
So just like a floating head.
You just see Bucky's little face floating around. Not even the head, just the face.
Just becomes a floating head.
And they go, hey, everyone's like, hey, White Wolf. He's like,
Hmm.
Drax, no one can see me. I've become invisible.
Oh, Drax. I miss Drax.
I do too. He will return in Love and Thunder.
Well, I'm happy about that.
I am too.
So now we're in Baltimore. Right?
Baltimore.
Is it Baltimore? Yeah, it's Baltimore.
Well, before that, Bucky goes,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I've got one other favor to call in.
Yep.
That's important. Remember that. Keep that in your back pocket.
Mhm. Hang on to that one.
Okay. So now we're in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Sam's walking down the street. And, it's nighttime and sees two kids playing basketball. And he has what we assume is the shield in his hands in that little carrying case.
Mhm.
Is the European men's carry-all.
It's a satchel.
It's a European men's carry-all. If Elaine was in this episode, it's a European men's carry-all.
Okay.
And this kid goes, whoa, what you doing, man? Where are you going? And it's dun.
I forgot his name, but it's Isaiah's grandson.
Elijah.
Elijah.
He's like, yeah, he's in back. And he's like, I'll be back there. He's like, yeah, whatever. So Sam walks into the back and Isaiah's watering his garden.
Mm-hmm. As any old super soldier does.
And he holds super soldier. And he looks and goes, is that what I think it is? He's like, leave it covered.
Mm-hmm.
Them stars and stripes don't mean nothing good for me. And Sam says, I need to understand. That's what this whole scene is about, is Sam understanding what happened to Isaiah. And Isaiah basically tells him, that has done nothing for any self-respect. That shield has done nothing for any self-respecting black man. And I mean, this thing's just so powerful. Sam's like, don't give me that bitter old man crap. Mm-hmm. And Isaiah tells him, if you ain't bitter, you're blind. And Sam's, I don't know, what emotion you think he's feeling? I don't think he's annoyed. I think he's frustrated because he wants to know.
He wants to know. He
wants to empathize, I guess.
He wants to understand why Isaiah feels the way he does, because Sam feels now. I think he felt before too, but like he passed up. Like now, like and knows the gravity of like somebody's gonna have to take on the shield. It's probably gonna be him, and he needs to understand what happened with Isaiah and why Isaiah feels like he does, and he just needs to, like I said, he just needs to understand. That's the whole thing, because he doesn't grasp it totally. He knows that he was done wrong. And so that's this whole scene. Like I don't think until he gets Isaiah talking, he doesn't realize. He knows it was terrible. He didn't realize exactly how terrible it was. He just knows 30 years of his life was lost after he took the serum.
Mm-hmm.
And he was experimented on for 30 years, but he didn't know all this other stuff that he's about to find out. And I think part of it is Sam is wanting to change the tide a little bit, or a lot of it, to where he doesn't want that mentality to stay. Okay, so
He
Isaiah
wants to bring it to the light.
Isaiah tells him about everything that happened. He tells him about his brothers in arms that were tested on under false pretense of it being like tetanus vaccinations. Now, some of them got sick. Some of them died. How some of them died in battle because they weren't able to perform, that they were out of it.
Well, and he did reference to, he was saying that, you know, when he was little, he saw those Red Tails, the famous 332 fight for this country. That was the Tuskegee Airmen, which they kept racially separated until what, 1947, 1948, something like that.
I think.
If I remember right, I think they actually gave them syphilis also.
Yeah.
Was it like gonorrhea or something? Was it syphilis?
It was syphilis. It was. I could look here while you keep going. I'll see what.
Yeah. Look up your browsing history. Do I have gonorrhea? Just go to that page. That'll tell you.
Syphilis. No, I don't have syphilis. I mean, syphilis was what they did. Damn it.
No, I don't have syphilis. It's
The
ludicrous.
timing.
I don't have syphilis.
The Tuskegee experiments were, it was a syphilis study,
Okay, it was syphilis.
and it was the study of like untreated. It's like, well, what's going to happen if we don't do anything about it? Yeah,
It's awful.
awful.
And that's kind of what they did to Isaiah.
Mhm.
Okay, go on.
So he explains that he pulled out a little box that was full of letters, and it was from his wife. Letters that he never got while he was in jail and being experimented on. He said he was thrown in. So what he said? He said he was thrown in jail because 2 of his men got taken hostage,
They were going to kill him.
and then the higher ups, the brass, were talking about blowing up just bombing the POW camp to erase any evidence of the experiments. Which he said, my guys, these are men that are not evidence, and so he freed him. He gets thrown in jail for it, and they figured out, oh, he still has the serum is still good in him, and so he gets experimented on for 30 years.
Because they wanted to find out why the super soldier serum took to him and not the others.
Mm-hmm. And during that time, his wife's trying to write him letters. He's not getting any of them.
So this whole story, like Kyle was saying, there's some parts taken from the miniseries.
From the
It's
miniseries.
not
Oh,
the
from
full-
the
from the comic. It's not the full story, not accurate, but they took a lot from it.
You think they're going to go back and do an Isaiah story?
I kind of hope they do.
I hope they do too. Because
But
the little
I
bit
think it's gonna-
I saw from the comics looked like it would just be badass.
I don't know if the time is right now, though, with racial tensions being as high as they are right now in this country. Because this is a bad story. It's a great story, but it's tragic. You know what's going to happen. It's like Rogue One.
Yep.
You know what's going to happen, but I was still sad at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I think they should do one. I think it'd be great.
I think they should. Just, do you think the timing's right?
I think
It's hard to say.
I think if you worry too much about, well, is the time right? Is this going to upset? It's the time to do it. So
Good point.
I think they should not let that factor into, well, should we do this or should we not? Because then they're feeding into it. If the story's there and you want to tell it, tell the story. I think the story's there and I think people want to hear it. I do.
I do.
So yeah, so they tell his wife that he died. And she didn't survive much long after that. And you can just see the hurt and the pain in Isaiah's face when he's talking about her. You get caught back up here. Until a nurse.
He's not sure why.
Not sure why. And I'm trying to figure out the time frame. So this all happened initially during, I'm guessing like he was Vietnam era, right?
I think he was Korean War era.
Was he?
I think it was Korean.
I wonder.
Yeah, because it's 50s. So that would have been Korea.
Is that when he?
Like 52. Didn't Buffy the Vampire Slayer come after him? Didn't Bucky say it was like from that bar in 52?
Oh, maybe. So he may be in Korean War areas. What I'm trying to piece together is who the nurse could have been. If the nurse was anybody of any consequence in the Marvel Universe, or if it was just for the story.
I didn't even think about that.
Because I was thinking of Steve's nurse.
Steve's nurse.
Mm-hmm. Whenever
Which
he
one?
unthawed.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think when the timing would have been when he got out. So, but it would have been, he would have been out of that earlier, I guess.
Well, we don't know when he got out, though.
See that? Yeah. So it could have been.
Well, let's say that he went in like
Because if all this
55.
happened, 55. Well, see, and
Let's say
Bucky could have,
55.
he could have been in his 40s. He could have been later in service when he got serumed. But necessarily
Well,
had to.
and-
Well, no, but Bucky said he did tangle with him.
Right. Well, and if it was 30 years, and let's say he got imprisoned in 55, that would be 85.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it would have been Steve's nurse. Steve's nurse was kind of young.
Yeah. It was just a thought.
No, it's a good thought. It's like, who is she in the MCU?
Yep. If she's, you know, and it just could be just for this story.
Right. This is such a good story. You know, she took pity on him. She wrote some fake reports and declared him dead.
Mhm.
That's how he got out. And she also gave him the box full of letters.
Yeah.
And that's how he found out about his kid. This whole scene sucked.
Yeah.
Not that it
so
sucked, that it was like,
it's tough.
yeah, it's super tough.
So, and Sam tells like, we got to do something. And this is, I think, a little bit of Sam wanting to, you know, or a lot of Sam wanting to change the attitude of everything. Like, we got to tell somebody. Like, I know people. Let's get your story out there. And he's like, no, leave me dead. My name's buried. I don't want to be dragged back through this. If I come back out, they'll have me dead in a day. I won't make it one day out there.
Why do you think he said, I wouldn't make it another day out there? I know what it says in the episode, but I mean, do you agree with that? Do you think they're still out to get him?
Oh, I think, well, I mean, he's just thinking that his story is, and it's one of the dirty secrets of the government that they don't want out there and that they'll hide and bury at all costs, including killing him. So the story doesn't get told. I think he sees it as that, and he says it here in a little bit that, you know, that America will not accept. They will not ever there will never be a black Captain America. They will not allow there to be a black Captain America. And he would have been.
Yeah.
During those times.
Well,
so
he was
I think it's
Captain
both.
America.
Yeah. He was.
He's just the Captain America you didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was said that, I just went, foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. And so it's, you know, so they're worried my story might get out. That's what he's saying. He's like, they erased me. Nothing left of him. No record of him left.
And which he's happy with that.
Well, that's
think
the lesser of two evils. Yeah, he's going to turn. He's not happy with it. He just doesn't. he wants Sam to know. He finally feels comfortable enough to let Sam to know. Like when he points at Sam, he says, "Pledge allegiance to that. They will never let a black man be Captain America."
He was wrong.
And I think that lights a fire under Sam.
Yep.
It's not that he wants to prove Isaiah wrong. He wants to prove that he can be and that he will be. And yeah, kind of see how that.
He walks out. He calls Sarah, says, "I'm coming home."
Mhm.
Next thing you know, you see the net from the boat, and there's Sam fixing it with his nephews.
Yep. The nephews with their Uncle Sam.
He wanted them to help him fix the net.
Mhm.
With their Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
What do you think the time period is right now that they're at? Do you think it was around the 4th of July?
No.
Because there's the real live nephews with their Uncle Sam.
No.
Here's where we find out that, what was it, Mr. Han? Whoever the guy, Mr. Din.
Oh, the guy
He-
who's going to buy the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, he backed out.
Mhm.
Said it's too messed up. It would cost too much to fix.
Yep.
Compared to what the boat was worth. And then he said something else in Vietnamese. I'm pretty sure he just said he was hungry.
Probably.
And Sam gave his sister the "what the hell" look.
Mhm.
Why don't you tell me? She's like, you've been keeping secrets. Like, it was a rough day. And she goes, with Isaiah Bradley. So apparently Sam told Sarah about Isaiah. So there's some other people who know the story.
Yeah. Yeah. And he told her that he was going to go see her or see him. I don't think he told her about what transpired in the conversation, or she would have known that, yeah, that was a rough day.
But
And then you see she sends the kids off with some food to some neighborhood kids. Basically says, these taking some food to the kids because their parents are pieces of shit. In short. And he's like, "Oh, you're doing just like mom, feeding the whole neighborhood." So she's, this is a very tight knit little community. And you see the little light bulb go off saying, like, how many people owe favors to mom and dad? And she's like, everybody is still around. So then Sam gets on the phone. Like, they're going to fix this boat up. He's calling everybody, calling the favors. There's a lot of like montage type moments in this episode. And this, set up for one. You see the sunset, and the next day, there's the whole neighborhood there pulling together to help them work on the boat.
which is really cool.
Which is really cool. Like, everybody's out there. They're bringing in parts. They're working on stuff. They have some big heavy part on the back of a little trailer thing, or a lot of motor parts is what it looks like. Excuse me. And they're like, "How are we gonna get this off the trailer?" And you just see it just like kind of slide off. And there's Bucky.
Hey, Bucky!
Bucky's they're in Louisiana, right? Yeah, Bucky's now in Louisiana. And
it's like Kyle's been saying the whole series. It's that cop buddy dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't expect to see Bucky there.
Nope.
At some level, I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was going with.
And so he delivers him the. He's like, just got something for you from the Wakandas. Just sign for it, and I'll be on my way. And you see some stuff start going wrong with this ship. There's like a line leaking or something. Sam runs over and tries to fix it, and Bucky comes over and helps him. He's like, "Oh no, you got to turn it this way." And there's that kind of stuff, one showing Bucky's, he's going to help his friend out. But then
His frenemy.
And
when he mentions, why didn't you use, Bucky was doing it with his real hand. And Sam goes, "Why didn't you use the metal hand?" He's like, "I don't always think of it. I'm right-handed. His metal hand's his left hand." So, you okay?
I had a little sneeze and fit there. I'm good.
Yeah. A good thing you weren't shaving. That'd be tragic.
It'd be
actually.
terrible.
It'd be terrible.
Mhm.
They're just kind of banter, and then Sarah walks up, and you hear some funk music playing if you're watching the subtitles. Titles. And Bucky gives this. Best way I can describe it is this pimp smile.
He's just like, hey,
How you doing?
you give me that little Joey, hey girl.
It's the David Putty smile.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes,
Sam just looks,
"Hey, I'm Bucky."
Yeah, I'm Sarah. And then Sam just looks
like, I lost it at this part. Big brother going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Mm-hmm. And then we break into the ship fixing montage.
It's time for a montage.
This is the first montage of the episode. I know of one more that I can remember off the top of my head, and there's a second montage.
Right.
And so they're going through fixing things. There's a little scene where Sam's trying to like peel some of the trim off the top of the edge of the boat. And he's like got a hammer and he's working on it. Like Bucky walks over with his power arm, just like rips it off and goes on. And they do kind of break from the montage for a minute to talk about Carly. What I think her next move is going to be. Sam says he's got Joaquin working on something. And what did Bucky say here?
Because he said that Zemo says there's only one way.
Yeah, which is either they kill her or she kills them. But he says he's got Joaquin working on something, so I'm curious to see what that is. We'll find out next episode, I'm sure.
Exactly.
And so they go back to working on it, and Bucky's like, "Oh, I gotta head out tomorrow. I'll get a hotel room for the night." And Sam's like, "You're gonna set me up like that? You're just gonna throw that out there?" And
Bucky's basically, yeah.
And Sam's like, this is the greatest little community in the world. They don't care if your mom's your aunt, if you wear little T-shirts, all this stuff, kind of poking fun at him a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, you can stay, but don't flirt with my sister." Like he points at, like, "Don't flirt with my sister,"
which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they buttered up quite a bit to each other. They don't want to admit it. And then we cut to Walker talking with Lamar with Battlestar's parents.
This scene sucked too.
Yeah. Basically, he's telling him that the person he killed is the one that killed their son, and that he would never let the person that did it actually get away. You don't think he actually believes that, though, right? I mean, he's just covering his own ass.
I think he's covering his own ass.
Okay.
Well, okay. On some level, I think he actually believes it. But on others,
that's how he's justifying it.
Yeah, that's how he's justifying it.
Okay.
Because that's how U.S. Agent kind of was in the comics. Like, he'll do anything to justify the means, the ends.
Then when Battlestar's parents are like, "Well, just knowing that the man that's responsible for our son's death is dead helps a little bit." And he just has to like leave at that point. Like, I don't know. He's a shit head. My tire's catching up with me a little bit there. I thought I had something good. I had nothing. I'm just going to revert to that's what he is.
No, he's a shithead. And Disney's shitheads for making me feel like this. Bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking down the street, and then he passes his own mural. Cap is back.
He was for a little bit. Cap is back. Now he's not. Not even Cap anymore. Stricken to the title. He's just America.
He's just the chin.
The chin.
The chin. Next thing you know, we're back in Madripoor.
Yep.
And
we're all over
Sharon
the place.
go,
A lot of globetrotting.
We are. We really are. And we hear Sharon talking on the phone with someone. I have a job for you. And then you hear someone speaking French.
Mhm.
It's Batroc, our
Hey,
old buddy
Batroc's
Batroc
back.
from episode 1 and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. And what she
And
tell
she's-
him?
Please,
No.
if it wasn't for me, you'd be rotting in that Algerian prison, which means Sharon is still kind of running Madripoor.
Mm-hmm.
But the scenes. Okay. Kyle brought up a really interesting theory of something he read. What did you read about Sharon?
Well, not what I read. It was a theory that somebody brought up to me that. Crap, I wasn't ready
Who
for
was
this.
it? It was your.
It
was
was
it Alex?
Alex, one of our listeners, that thought that Sharon is the power broker. Now, I'm trying to see how he broke it down here.
Did he send you pictures?
No, he just kind of
It helps with pictures for us,
helps if we need pictures.
especially if they pop out of a book.
So it was. How did he word it here? So, so he's going to go on record and say Sharon Carter is the power broker. She's got way too much pull in Madripoor and a place in Hightown. Even Zemo, a baron and well-off dude, didn't have that or the pull in Hightown. That Zemo had to go to, what was it, Lowtown, Downtown,
L-Town,
Mhm.
F-Town.
Downtown. So, I mean, there's a good chance she could be the power broker. I don't think that was. I don't think we saw that was the power broker we saw. I thought it was at first, the first
Right.
episode, the dude that was there in the trench coat or whatever. No, that would be hell of a twist if she's the power broker and she's pulling some crazy double, triple, quadruple agent stuff.
She is. So Batroc's like giving it to her in French, and she's just like, "Are you done?"
Mhm.
And she goes, "I can give you double this time. I promise you won't regret saying yes. So what's it going to be?" And then he says, "Nothing. We don't know what's going on at this point." So there could be some merit to this theory that she's the power broker.
Yep.
I don't think she is because of the later scene, and I'll explain why when we get there.
Okay.
So next thing we know, we're back in Louisiana, and there's Bucky laying on the couch with a pillow, and the boys are playing with a shield. And they see Bucky, and he kind of just gives them this hand thing, and they go, "Put it back," and they run off.
Mm-hmm. I got a kick
Did you
out of this
notice
scene.
anything about this scene?
Anything special in particular? I mean, I noticed that Bucky's wearing his dog tags.
No, not that.
Arms out, waves. The kids put the shield back.
You're way overthinking this. He's sleeping on the couch. He's always slept on the floor because the couch, beds are too soft. Never slept with a pillow. Always slept on the couch or on the floor. I think this shows his growth and connection with Sam.
Yep. He feels safe.
Family.
I
think that's what this shows.
Hmm.
He's sleeping on the couch. Either that or he was just sneaking down from Sarah's room.
That could have been it too. Came down there to
And he's like, "No, I've been on the couch all night."
go down there stealing those kids' juice boxes and Lunchables.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, but he was on the couch. So I thought that was big.
You see, he's out on the dock. So he was supposed to leave that next morning.
Yep.
I think that's what he told Sam. And we see now he's sticking around. He's going to stay and help work on the boat, even though they're not working on what they're supposed to be working on. According to, what's her name? It's Sarah. She jumps her ass pretty hard. It's like, that's not, what were they working on? Like a water pump or something like that. She's like, I told you that wasn't the problem. Messing around with things you don't understand. So she pulls him off of that. And what did he say? He called her mean.
Yeah, he goes, okay, so they're talking. She walks up and Bucky's like, hi, Sarah.
Oh yeah. I'm going with your theory on why he was on the couch now. Just that makes it that much more fun.
And then, they're walking away and he goes, she's a very mean person. I cracked up at that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sam's getting on to Bucky. It's like, if you would have done what I told you, we would have been done before she got here.
So they're ribbing at each other a little bit.
Yeah. It's
Good.
like two brothers.
And we cut to them. They're in the yard of the Sam's place, tossing the shield around like a couple of buddies.
Yeah. And they've got the trees wrapped.
Mm-hmm. So get that good bounce off of it. And they're working on practicing angles and stuff. And when they start kind of having a really good little breakthrough moment. Let's Sam here. So the shield feels weird. Or it feels weird picking it up again. My playback's kind of acting funky right now.
Is it? Yeah, and basically what happens is Bucky tells him, when Steve told me what he's planning, I don't think we understood what it felt like for a black man to be handed the shield. And Sam kind of sighs, and he's like, how could we? And then all of a sudden, revelation time, he said, I owe an apology. Bucky has this shield the whole time that he's talking, and he hands it back to Sam. Sam takes it and says, thank you. So this is huge in their broship.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks at him and he tells him, whatever happened with Walker isn't your fault. Which means Sam's been beating himself up the whole time about this.
Yeah. He's shouldering a lot of that blame for not taking the shield the first time.
So, and then Bucky's like, I get it. It's just that the shield is the closest thing that I have to family. I've got left to family, because everyone, think about it. Everyone Bucky knew died.
Mm-hmm.
All his family died.
Yep.
That shield's the last thing that's holding, I think, keeping him here with us. Because that dude's got some PTSD.
Ah, yeah. Like a century's worth.
Centuries worth. So he's like, so when you retired it, I felt like I had nothing left. He was empty. He's opening up to how much he was hurt.
Mm-hmm. That's all he had left.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, I've got his book. Just figure it would work for Steve, then it'd work for me. I have expected Bucky to cry at this point.
The look on his face and stuff kind of got me a little bit there. The way he was holding the book and like fidgeting with it, and like how he looks away. He's like, yeah, like I said, I thought it would work for me, and he's just like, that was one thing he was really hanging on to, Steve,
right?
Of his past and when things still seemed halfway normal for him. But Sam does a good thing here. And then, like, Steve's gone.
Yeah.
And he's blunt about it, but not mean about it.
What does he say? Like, he basically tells him it's about to be tough love.
Mm-hmm. And he said, I said, it may be hard to hear, but it doesn't matter what Steve thought. He said, you got to stop looking to other people to tell you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So he's helping Bucky here, helping him, move on. Ask him, are you still having your nightmares? He tells him all the time. That means I remember. Part of him's still there.
The Winter Soldier.
Part of the Winter Soldier is still in him. And they toss the shield around a little bit more, and that's what he asked him. Like, you up for a little tough love? Do you want to climb out of the hell you're in? Do the work.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's because
they
were never at a point they could talk like that.
Yeah, it's like you need to pull your own self up by the bootstraps. He tells him, like, you're going through and you're trying to make amends with all these people, and you say you're trying to make amends, but what you're actually doing is avenging.
Which that's awesome.
You're not
He called it.
righting the wrongs that you've done. You're stopping the people that you enabled, or the people that were doing bad things. What you really need to be doing is find the people that you did wrong and be of service to them. Do something for them.
Be of servant.
Be of service.
Yeah.
That will bring you your closure.
Not telling them you're sorry,
Mm-mm.
but be of service.
It's just about, he's like, oh, okay, good talk. Like, something that he's, he had all those sessions and stuff with the psychiatrist and all these plans and everything. Going, he just needed his buddy there.
To be fair, the
They only meant to be
psychiatrist,
buddies.
like I served some tours with Walker. Blah, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah. And I like this exchange after he's like, good talk. He's like, well, if you ever need me, we're there. And he's like, yeah, but not necessarily as a team. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
We're not that good. No, definitely not that
No.
good. We're professionals. Yeah, we're professionals. Partners. It was like coworkers. Just a couple of guys with a mutual friend. His friend's now gone, so we're just a couple of guys. It's like, I can live with that. So it's like, are we dating? What are we doing?
They're beating around the bush.
Yeah. So I like that. They're not ready to make it Facebook official yet. That's their thing. And
Facebook official.
and so we had that like little moment of levity, and then we see Sam walking away, and then it does the slow motion.
So you knew what was coming at this point, right? With the slow motion montage, and it's a shirtless Sam montage.
Yep. Oh, we didn't get there yet. They were about to sail the boat.
There.
They were getting ready to paint over the name. He's like, one last thing to do, and she's like, no. Sister's like, nope, don't. We can't sell it. And I know the speech. It's not smart. And then Sam's happy because he never wanted to sell the boat in the first place. He's like,
Sam's like, I got what I want.
I got what I wanted, sister. But he's like, this is our history. We have to preserve it. What do you say? He said, we can't lose this fight. He's talking about changing the world. As all of our struggles as people, he's thinking, I'm going to show them. I'm going to go out and change the world. This is a little silly. But when he would look at his sister, he felt like she always thought he was running away. Like he felt like he was letting her down, not being there when the family business was going under, him off going and fighting wars and doing things.
This episode should not have been called Truth, but Kick in the Feels.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this whole episode is.
Like
that's a sign of good writing.
She kind of ribs him. She's like, who knew you were so sensitive, and talking about how she missed him. So there's a fight out there, there's a fight in here, and that you've taken them both on. They're fighting what outsiders would look at as like the small fight, just for the family, and it's just involving a boat, but that's his history and his nephew's future, potentially. Then
so do you think she's saying it's better to fight a small one or a big one? A big fight?
I don't think she was giving one over the other.
She's just saying just fighting.
Just fighting the fight. She's like, you were fighting two fights. You were fighting the fight here at home for us, and then the big fight for just the global good.
Right. Now we have the montage where he's like playing ultimate frisbee.
Yeah. What's weird, like whenever him and Bucky were messing around the shield, he wasn't having any trouble catching it. Now he's just like, I forgot how to do this.
Yep. Well, he's also doing like flips and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's at another level too. He's doing the Terminator run. The
Gatorade commercial, sweat coming off of him.
Mm-hmm. They could make a Gatorade commercial out of this.
When you need it, we could do that.
We could do that.
Well, and then he goes, all day, baby. And they're like, Uncle Sam. That reminded me of that. I expected him to go, on your left.
That would have been great.
But then next thing we know, he's at the dock. He throws it and it comes back and he catches it. I'm like, that could have been bad.
Like if he was throwing a little too low and the whole dock just went down.
It's like Brady throwing the trophy.
Ah!
Yeah.
Hit it, Gronk. But I was thinking like he could have took out that pier and the whole dock would have just collapsed.
Real quick.
Just walks away.
And he goes, we got to
Monkey
sell the
did it.
boat. Sarah, got to sell the boat.
So he's got his shield legs under him, and now we're back to Carly.
So, okay.
Or unless you want to
What do
cover
you
that,
think-
go over that some.
What do you think this meant?
That just showed that he was willing to put the work in. Like he wasn't just going to take the shield and run with it. He was going to.
He was
do
ready
it
for
justice.
the legacy
Yeah.
to take on the mantle, is what
Yeah.
I think, like you're saying.
He wants to be able to do it justice and make it his own.
And make it his own. Now we're back at Carly in a park with Steve Aoki.
Mhm.
We're assuming he just got done with a gig.
You're gonna be sweatier.
And then in walks, if you pause it just right, you think it's older Nick Jonas, but it's not. It's Batroc.
Still with that one.
You hold on. I'm taking a picture and sending this to you.
Oh, I know. I just wasn't ready for that joke to resurface. We're bringing it back.
Because he's a sucker for you. Here. Coming your way. Okay.
On my way. Okay, I'm watching for it.
So we now know what Sharon's job was for Batroc.
Mm-hmm.
It was delivering equipment to Carly.
Yep. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any. This is hard to make a prediction on because it can go so many different ways. Could she be giving him faulty equipment? Could be bad equipment.
Could
Is
be.
she secretly, sponsoring the Flag Smashers? Is she just, making a buck to make a buck?
Right.
So
Which we also find out here that Sharon's the one who she was the one behind Batroc in the first episode, the
Mhm.
hijacking.
Yep.
Again, Sharon's doing some shady shit to survive.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't think that Sharon's the power broker at this point. She just had Batroc deliver equipment to them. Instead of taking out the movement, the resistance, if she was the power broker, because they stole the serum from her. It would seem like she's trying to bury the hatchet, but it's not. She's supplying them with weapons. Unless, like you said, it's faulty.
This is faulty, or she's like I said, she's playing both sides of it. She's driving him with a little bit of fear over here, make a little bit of money off of him over here, or she's supplying them, or she believes in the movement and she's supporting it. So, that very well could be it.
Steve
Because,
Aoki points out. Oh,
If there wasn't borders, she wouldn't be stuck in Madripoor. She could just be wherever she wanted to be.
Right. So Steve Aoki goes, hey, we're associating with criminals. And Carly looks at him and goes, we are criminals. So I think Carly's come full circle here at this point.
Yeah.
Like Zemo's saying, do you think she's beyond redemption?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
I mean, okay, well, I don't think she is, but I don't think they're going to bring her back from it. I think very rarely is anyone totally beyond redemption, but I think in the cinematic world right now with that she's in, that they're not going to bring her back from redemption. They've set her up to be this.
And Patrick's like, you invite me for a picnic? And she's like, kinda. We're everywhere, nowhere. Pulls out her phone, and they must have done their own little app. She's like, this is why we'll win. She hit this button, and all of a sudden these little yellow dots lit up red, and all these people in the park pull out their phone. These are her little minions. Said, we're going to make sure the GRC vote never happens. He's like, Batroc, I'm not here to be part of your little movement. I'm here to kill the Falcon. We know what Batroc's here to do now.
Yep. So we're setting up for the final episode. Batroc's there to kill the fountain. The fountain.
The fountain. He is going to put laundry detergent in that fountain and really annoy the piss out of the people who have to take care of it.
They're going to turn it green. Yeah. I know where you're going with that one. The old fountain. Yeah. But yeah, he's there to kill the Falcon. Foul. Blah, blah, blah. Then,
And then we see where we're at this point too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see when they
oh, let me go back a little bit.
when they zoom out?
Oh yeah, because we didn't get the you see the Empire State Building?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we know we're in New York.
Mm-hmm. And if you look real close, if you pause it just right,
yeah,
you can either see Goliath and Brooklyn and all the gargoyles up there, or you can see Zool.
there's only Zool.
There. Are you the gatekeeper?
That would be, just see like a the movement starts going in the background. Here comes this giant Stay Puffed. Flag smashers and marshmallows.
And marsh smashers.
Marshmallow smashers.
Marshmallows.
Flag schmallows.
Flag schmallows. And he's like European. He's like, hello.
I'm here to smash all the flags.
He goes, yeah, it's good.
It's good.
We're not making fun of anyone. We have some German listeners.
We make
But
fun of
just think it'd be
everybody.
funny.
I think it'd be worse if there was people like, you know what, we're not going to make fun of them.
Yeah, that's true too.
We're just going to make fun of everybody.
Here,
Let's
we'll
do
make
ourselves.
fun of our state. We're in. It's like, hey y'all, we here to kill some people and stuff.
Y'all here smash them flags? Yee yee.
Hey, there's a hole in the ground. Look, we going noodling.
We're going noodling. We'll catch some of them.
We
Catch
can
them
catch some of them
smashers.
flag smashers.
Okay, we made fun of Oklahoma now, so we're good there.
So, okay. Well, we did that earlier with the tornado.
Oh yeah, we already did that.
And we find out the name of the act is called the Patch Act.
Well, we
Is
heard that
the-
last episode too.
Oh, we did? Yeah.
Because we got Sam watching the news. It's getting ready to pass. And what was the GRC is voting on the Patch Act, which would move close to 20 million refugees back to their homes of origin. So it's going to kick everybody out of wherever they are now.
Yep.
And then Torres calls Sam.
FaceTimes him.
FaceTime's like, hey, buddy. He's like, he's
Hey,
showing him
girl.
the pings where they've been tracking where all these activities have happened. Like, hey, it's all over.
What'd he show
Europe.
him?
Pings.
That's what she said. Woo!
Oh, now you get it to work. Now you get it to work, right? Torres is showing him his pings over FaceTime.
That's what she said. Welcome.
Thank you. They're all over Europe. And they've, like, there's this one today in New York where the GRC is voting. He's like, no, I can't promise they're not using a VPN or masking their location, but, and then Sam's kind of like, good job, Joaquin. And then just like cuts him off. And
I'll
tells
take it
him,
from here.
I'm taking it. Yeah. So now we know for sure we're in New York City.
Because it says New York City.
Now, I couldn't tell because I never did get a really good look at one of the guys talking here, but it's one of the, so they got the GRC here, the guy that's talking at the beginning that's standing up, the red tie. Was he also on the,
He was the main guy who court-martialed Walker, but handed down the sentence.
yeah. Okay. I thought it was. I just
Yep.
wasn't for sure because you only seen him kind of briefly.
It was
Yeah.
him.
And so he's the one that got rid of, like, really pushed it. He's the one actually saying here, like, why are we even voting? Like, let's just make this happen. And so as they're discussing this, there's a couple of them that are against voting for this. And, then you
And
see
I don't even know if it's against or if it's just like there's more stuff we need more time on this.
And then we see
Yeah,
one of
that
the
one
guys
is like we're not renting them out like cattle. Yeah, I see what you're talking about there.
And then we see one of the guys that we saw in the park earlier. The guy in the,
wasn't
Canadian
it?
tuxedo. Yeah.
Matt Gatz.
He whispers in the other guy's ear, "One world, one people." And then we've got a rave going on in the council. Red lights flashing. Was that okay? So when everything starts shutting down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said they shut it all down. The lights go red. They're basically pretty much holding them all hostage. You have the screen. The screens kind of start lighting up and flickering.
Right.
At least the ones in the middle. In the back, the main screen.
The main screen.
It's doing the glitchy thing. Is that reflection of the lights, or is that like?
That's reflection of the lights. Because
Okay.
if you look as the camera moves in on it, it moves.
Okay, I thought it was supposed to be made to look like maybe two menacing red eyes behind the glitchy thing. But okay, yep, you're right.
Or it could be. That could be a reference to Ultron.
Ooh. Are they going to re-release the Ultron?
That would be actually kind of wicked.
Yeah, probably not going to happen though.
No.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Next thing you know, we're back in Louisiana. The case is glowing red. Sam puts his finger on it, turns blue. He opens up the case.
And he finds Marcellus Wallace's secret. No, that's Pulp Fiction.
God, I wish I wish I had a button for the song.
Oh. Hold on, which
Yes.
song? Oh yeah. The Pulp Fiction song?
Yes.
Because
I know you were going with that after that.
Yeah.
And then Sam looks and cut to the credits.
But that's not all.
You knew that they were going to do that crap to us.
Mm-hmm.
There is med credits. Med credits. It's Medline. Come down for 420.
Is it? 2 days.
No, it's 4.
So
418.
you hear the hammering, the clank, clank, clank. And
you see an old picture of John and Lamar.
Mm-hmm. And so you see Walker doing some metal work.
Very, very a la Tony Stark.
Yeah. I was thinking that when I heard the metal, or when I heard the hammer hitting the dink, dink, that's how they ended Endgame, right? There was no end credit scene. It was just that
right.
Clank, clank, clank.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got a hammer. Oh, never mind. It's that guy.
And he puts his little medal, his service medal.
I think that was his Medal of Honor.
Was
Didn't
it?
he have like 3 medals of honor?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you can see what he's putting together. We knew what he was putting together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shield, and he's welding it. Here's the thing, though. It's not going to be the vibranium.
No.
It looked like he was pounding out like hubcaps.
Just some scrap metal he had laying around. But he's not in the right mind right now. Like, he's just...
He wants the shield back.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, then he's spray painting it.
Yep.
And you see the 3 pieces, and it looks like the shield. Cap shield. Da, 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 enter
Da, da, da.
U.S. agent. He's going to come
Officially
in with
now.
a mask, just wearing like his tidy whities.
Like, kind of like Captain
like
Underpants.
boots. Yeah. Yes, that's where I was going with it.
So,
He's going to come in like Captain Underpants.
What do you think on the episode, all in all?
I liked it. I
Mhm.
really liked it. I thought it was the best episode so far.
It was. It had, like, the music was good in it. That was something I kind of noticed as I was going through it. There was a lot of the mood changed a little bit, but you still had that kind of late 80s, early 90s buddy cop feel to it. You had your montages. You had, like, that's still the feel they're going for this whole series, and they nailed it because you had you had lots of action sprinkled
Right.
in with the comment. It hit that dynamic really good. We finally get to see Bucky and Sam, come together on their bromance. We get to see Sam finally
Full
take the
circle
mantle
romance.
or the shield. I guess not really. He's taking. And we're gonna see what's in the box next episode, which is gonna probably be some really badass wings. I hope. What
I don't think it's
do you
gonna
think that's
be-
what was in the box?
I think it's a Cap costume.
Oh,
I think
he's
it's
gonna
a Cap costume with wings.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you think he was gonna go wingless, because his
No.
cap isn't wingless,
No,
right?
his cap has wings, but his was just broken beyond repair.
Right.
Well, not broken beyond repair. He didn't have government backing anymore. He didn't have a Tony Stark to fix it.
True. They're gonna get fixed.
So, what are you gonna do at this point? You know what I mean?
So, what do you think is gonna happen next episode? Do you think we'll get closure on Sharon's arc too? You think all these we're gonna get closure on all these this next episode?
Oh hell no. I think Sharon's arc's gonna still go on.
Okay.
I think this is gonna set us up for Thunderbolts because U.S. Agent, besides Zemo, Helmut Zemo leading the Thunderbolts, U.S. Agent also leads the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Or was it Dark Avengers? I think it's Dark Avengers. No, it's Thunderbolts.
I don't
I
think
don't
we've
remember. It
seen the
was
last
something.
of Zemo. I think we may have seen the last of him this series. I don't know if we'll see Zemo next episode or not. I kind of have my doubts. But we may see him like post credits or something.
Right.
But I kind of doubt we'll see him in the meat of the episode. I mean, he's getting hauled off. I don't think we'll see Carter in New York. We'll see her pulling the strings a little bit. We're going to see the Flag Smashers butt heads with Bucky and Cap and new Captain with a possible reiteration of the Falcon.
Right.
And so we'll see the Flag Smashers versus them versus whatever it is U.S. Agent's going to be doing. And I really don't know after that because I don't know how they're going to wrap it up.
I'm at a loss right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, we're kind of late. Tired. Guys, our brains may be fried at this point.
They are. This is later than we normally do it.
Yeah.
And well, in a while, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It's just been a long weekend for both of us. So I don't know. Tell us what you think.
Join the Discords. Join the convo.
Let us know.
It's been picking up. There's a lot of conversations starting to pick up more and more around these shows. When I'm saying these shows, not our episodes, but these Marvel miniseries that have been going out. So if you guys aren't part of that, join the discussion. Tell us what you think.
And also our next, so after we have one episode left.
Yep.
The next series is Loki. I am super excited about this one.
I'm trying not to watch any previews or trailers or I want to go into that one completely blind.
So
I'm
well,
excited about that. You know what I mean? Like
the opposite. I'm trying not to, do any spoilers, but I'm at least watching the previews.
I'm not even watching the previews. I'm trying to avoid that. I want to go in this one pure.
I can see that.
I like doing that with some shows and some movies. Like if there's something that's super hyped, like this is going to be great, and like, oh, like if I'm starting to get excited about it, sometimes I'll purposely not watch any trailers or anything. That way I don't have any preconceived notions going into it.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much open for any of this stuff. I don't know what to think at this point. So if you guys got any ideas, again, let us know.
Join in
We're
the
open.
combo.
So with that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And thank you guys for sticking with us as long as you have. And all you new listeners out there, wherever you are tonight or today or whatever time it is you're listening, be good to each other and have a great rest of your day or night.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Nerd Core, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word. MCs shied away from